If you're like most human beings, at one point in time, you're going to look at yourself, reflect, and think about everything that you could have been. And then reflect based off of where you are today and come to the conclusion that you aren't living up to your potential. You might look at different instances within your life in which you felt like you could have done more, done better, been a lot more than who you are today. But you're not. You are who you are. And you come to some sense of conclusion that you can't change that. Well, you can. I'm a person that hates the idea that you can live a life that you cannot change. I am a journeyman, just like you, trying to improve my life. And here are some of the things that I've learned from my experiences. Why is your life a mess? And here's how you can fix it. Before you could even begin to understand why your individual life might be a mess, the first thing you have to understand is the value of order. So, what is order? According to several different dictionary definitions, order, in general, is the idea of having a sequence, or, in some sense, a order of events. So, what is that sequence specifically? And what does it have to do at all with fixing your life? That sequence is the mundane reality of the way that you live your life on a daily basis. So let's say you wake up every day at 9 a.m. You go to sleep at 1 a.m. and you do that every single day consistently throughout the week. Many people might tell you that's a terrible thing. Not necessarily. If that is something that you do every single day, consistently, and that's a time period that works best for you, I would not necessarily tell you that that's a bad thing per se. I think that's a schedule that works for you. Order comes in the sense of creating a guideline for yourself as to how you should live your life and sticking to that guideline no matter what. So even when things get tough, you still have an idea as to how you should be living your life, what you should be doing, and you stick to that. You never stray from your initial path because you have order. You have, in some sense, discipline. Essentially, what it looks like to have order in your life is to create schedules, routines, ways of living that you practice on a regular basis, that you consistently repeat on a regular basis. So, once again, going with the sleep example. You sleep at 1 a.m., you wake up at 9 a.m., you do that every single day, and you create a consistent schedule that you might have followed every single day. Let's say you have work at 10 a.m., right? That gives you about 1 hour to eat breakfast, get ready, do everything you have to do before you head over to work. 1 hour. When you're at work, how productive are you? Are you doing the best that you can every single day? One thing that I noticed from my experience, and this could differ based off of the individual, is that the more productive I am, the more I feel like I'm fulfilling on a regular routine basis, the more enjoyment I have in daily living. So while you're at work, are you trying your best? Are you making as many accomplishments as you possibly can? Try it. See how things change for you. When you're done work, let's say 5 p.m., you work a regular 9, well in this case 10 to 5. You come home, what do you do as soon as you get home? Do you turn on the TV and start watching something? Scroll through YouTube? Scroll through social medias? What do you do? Are you using your free time productively? And how much free time do you have? Let's say you slept at 9, or you woke up at 9, you went to sleep at 1. What do you do between 5 when you get home and 1? The best and most productive way for you to use the free time that you have is to start by picking out points in your day in which you could use this free time routinely. So, for example, if you have work from 10 to 5, 10 to 6 every single day during weekdays, then when you get home, you have all your free time there until 1 a.m., which is when you sleep. That's fine. Just create different time slots for when you think different events would occur throughout the day. When are you going to have dinner? Does it usually come around 11, 10? If that's the case, sure. You have all the way until from 5 to 10 to do something productive. Maybe in that time, create a schedule for yourself. And in that schedule, put in that from 5 to 10, you have the time to do something productive. Use it. Then after you've picked out that time, you can start brainstorming different ideas as to what you can do with that time. It doesn't have to be something repetitive every single day, but as long as you're doing something productive, I can guarantee you're going to be significantly more fulfilled than you would otherwise have been since the start of your practice. I genuinely believe that human beings are significantly more fulfilled when they feel as though they're doing something productive and achieving something, truly. The reason why, from my understanding, is because we all want to have a sense that we're contributing to the world, that we make a difference, that we matter to some extent. And as much as a lot of us try to deny it, our understanding of how much we matter as individuals is based off of how much of an impact we make on other people and the world around us. We are social beings by nature, and in order for us to feel as though we are fulfilled as individuals, to some extent, we care about how much of an impact we leave on everyone around us. So as you create these routines, as you go through your life every single day, doing something productive, what you'll essentially develop is a sense of discipline. And discipline is an extraordinary concept. I mentioned discipline to you earlier on during my conversation. Discipline is important for your fulfillment. I would even say discipline is key to your fulfillment. It's one of the values that I hold dearest, specifically because I believe that in order for you to be happy, there are times when you have to put your emotions aside and do what you know you have to do. It's the understanding of short-term happiness versus long-term happiness. And that's a very complex conversation that we could have now. Short-term happiness is essentially the idea that you want something, and so you want it now. You're going to go get it now. But ultimately, you know it has nothing to do with your long-term goals. Long-term happiness is doing what you might not want to do right now in order to pursue the fulfillment of said long-term goals. And that, to me, is a significantly more important than short-term happiness, because your short-term happiness is not going to determine fulfillment. Long-term happiness determines fulfillment, not short-term. And in order for you to have that, you start to map out your goals and figure out a plan for you to get from point A to point B. And quite truthfully, it literally means nothing whether or not you want to do what you believe is the right thing for you to do. Because when you let those emotions get in the way, that's when they start picking at you. That's when you start straying from your goals. It's very important for you to map these things out and start thinking about these things from the start, because if you don't, the bad habits will continue. That's the first step to fixing up the things in your life that make it a mess. And that's to get things in order. Start cutting off the things in your life that disrupt order. So for example, the bad habits. You want to stop those bad habits? Create a schedule, create a discipline for yourself to follow on a regular basis. Never stray from it, because the second that you do, the very moment that you stray from that discipline that you've created for yourself, is the moment that you've let yourself down. And the moment that you let yourself down is the moment that you no longer trust yourself. One of the questions that you might be asking is, at which point a routine or a schedule becomes a matter of discipline, becomes something that you've disciplined yourself to do on a daily basis. A routine becomes a discipline the moment that you've accepted it as mundane, the moment that you've accepted it to be regular to you, meaning it's no longer something that you have to go out of your way to think to do. It's something that your mind has already accepted to be something that should be happening on a daily basis, and thus you don't have to spend extra thought in order to push yourself, to motivate you to do something, because you've already instilled into your mind that you're going to do it no matter what. And here's the thing. A lot of people, the reason as to why they choose to pursue a venture that they ultimately know is not at all related to their long-term goal for short-term pleasure is because they want a vice. They want something to distract them from reality, because the reality is they haven't achieved said goal, and the work to get there is difficult. I don't like the idea of having something that I need on a daily basis to motivate me to do better, to motivate me to do what I need to do. At the start, you need something to motivate you. So whether that be for you to train, you might want to watch a motivational video that pushes you to work as hard as you can at the gym. That motivation is something that you must accept as only a starting point and nothing more. You cannot live your life expecting motivation to come to you every single day, every waking moment, specifically because that's not how life works. And realistically, the only way for you to prosper is to take that starting point and build on it. And the best way to build on it in this case is to start thinking about different ways for you to regulate what you need to do into your daily schedule. So whether that be chipping away at it bit by bit, for example, pushing towards working out. Maybe you want to start off with a light workout in the morning, whether that be a jog or something of the sort. Maybe you want to take a step into the gym. Take a look around. Work with someone, a personal trainer, for a bit, just a bit, 30 minutes. Next day, you come in, work out there for an hour. Day after that, 2 hours. You keep building yourself bit by bit until you've gotten to the point at which it's become normal for you. And regularly, it takes somewhere between 1 to 2 weeks for a recurrent event to be something you've disciplined yourself to do, for something to become routine. So that's one thing you must always keep in mind when practicing the art of creating a routine. So I think the underlying question you have to ask yourself is, what are these routines? What does it have to do with discipline? What is the value of the routine and the discipline? And what is really the value of order, which is a grand sum of everything that I'm describing to you? The importance of the routine is to scheduleize your life. The importance of discipline is to stick to the schedule that you set for yourself, to do what you tell yourself you want to do, and to commit to your dreams. The goal, the value of order, is to ensure that your dreams and your goals are now structured in a way for you to realistically move towards and attain them. If you want to get your life together, if your life is a mess, and you want to make it better, the first thing you should do is to understand the value of order. So here's the thing. As I described to you earlier, I'm no guru. I'm no self-improvement expert. I am a journeyman on my journey to understanding what I need to do to find fulfillment for myself. And in my path towards finding fulfillment and happiness, I want to help you create your own journey as well. Join the journey. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification for more videos. What did you think about what I had to say? Maybe you disagreed. Maybe you agreed. Let us know. I greatly appreciate all of your times, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video. Later.